So welcome everyone. This is Chelsea Jones with Illinois WorkNet. Thank you for joining us today. The purpose of today's webinar is to just give everyone a refresher on the Illinois WorkNet layoff recovery tools we have for our workforce partners. And so what I want to do today is to do a live demonstration of the tools that we have. And so I know I have a PowerPoint on the screen, but I just wanted to have that up just so I would remember to tell all of you that it is available down in the bottom left corner of the PowerPoint in the Files pod. So if you click on the name of the document, you'll get a button that says Download Files. So if you click that, it will take you to your web browser and you can download the file and save it, and you can reference it in the future. And I'll also put this on the Illinois WorkNet website as well after we're done with today's webinar, as well as the recording, because we are going to record the session today for anyone who wasn't able to make it. And just as a repeat, I am keeping the phone lines open, so if you have any questions throughout the session, please feel free to either interrupt me on the phone or in the chat. I'll keep that up as well so I can see any questions that pop up. And I am going to just do a live screen share then, so I'm going to get that pulled over and get that started, because usually I just find that easier than a PowerPoint so you can just see everything that's happening. Although I'm not sure it's sharing the correct screen. Can everyone see the Illinois WorkNet website, or do they see the webinar? Okay, let me try that again. Sorry about that. Okay, so you should see the Illinois WorkNet website now. If someone could confirm that in the chat pod, that would be much appreciated. Great, thank you very much. And so what I'm going to do is just follow through on Illinois WorkNet how you can access the layoff recovery tools, where they're at, and what they all do. And I know a lot of you are already familiar with how they all work and function. You need to use them regularly. So that's why I called this a refresher. And so just you can follow along with me. If you have any questions that come up, let me know. I'm on the Illinois WorkNet homepage right now, www.illinoisworknet.com. And so to get to the tools, you can just scroll down to the bottom of the footer, all the way down here, and you can click on Partner Resources. So the Partner Resources is down here in the bottom of the footer on all the pages on Illinois WorkNet. So if you click on that, you're going to go to our Workforce and Education Partners area. And you'll know you're in this area because you can see the menus now blue. And I'm sure most of you are familiar with this as well, and you'll know that the menu is different once you get to this area, because now you're in the partner area and we have all of our resources and pages that are specific for the tools and resources that we have for you. So to get to the layoff recovery tools, it's very simple. You can just scroll down a little bit. Right under Program Guides for Partners, we have a Layoff Assistance Guide button right here with a little layoff icon. Now, it might not always be number 3 here. These little squares can change depending on the different projects and programs that are going on. So if you don't see it at number 3, just look around. You can see we have quite a few little squares on the page. So you can scroll up and scroll down to see what ones are there. And when you click on it, you go directly to the Layoff Recovery Guide for Partners. And on this page, we link directly to those tools that you can use to manage the layoff pages and entering surveys and accessing completed surveys that were done online, etc. And they're all accessed right under this area where it says Tools-Access Required. Before I go into actual tools, though, I just want to make sure that everyone's aware of all the other links on the page. So under Resources, we have a page called Updates. And that is exactly what it sounds like, a list of updates and releases that keeps you informed. So all of you get our monthly WARN follow-up report via email from me, and we post those on the website as well. Any updates we make to the website to this specific area, we post those here. So if you're ever curious about changes that have been made, you can come here and check out the updates area. The second one is frequently asked questions. I'm not going to click on that one because it's self-explanatory. Those are FAQs that you can access. If you ever have a frequently asked question that is not on the page, you can go there and submit your own as well, and we will answer that and post it on the page. The third one is the archived training materials. Now this one is all of the past webinars like we're doing now that we've done specific to layoff recovery for our partners. So all of the past ones that we've done, you can see the last one we did that was posted was in 2015, so it's been a while. You can see them all here. We do have materials from the November 2016 Rapid Response Roundtable, but that was an in-person event, so we didn't have a video for that. And then today's webinar will be posted here as well with the PDF. So all of those materials are listed here as well. And then you can see I'm clicking the Back to Layoff Recovery Partner Guide up here in the top left to get back to that landing page. Diana, the copy of the Rapid Response Survey is actually on the last link here, I believe, the resources and all principles. So if we click on this page, this one has marketing materials and resources. So yes, right under resources, the first link is the Principal Dislocated Worker Survey as a PDF and a Spanish PDF. So that's where you can go to get the downloadable version of the Dislocated Worker Survey. You can also print it via the batch entry page, but sometimes if, depending on your browser, it might not print as well, so that's why we do have the PDF version here as well under the resources area. So some other materials on this page are obviously all the marketing materials that we have available for you to download and print or give to laid-off workers, which includes all the flyer options, the WARN, WIOA, and trade brochures, or WIOA brochure, I'm sorry about that, as well as the Illinois WorkNet Quick Start Guide. And then on the right side of the page under resources, we have that Dislocated Worker Survey and those instructional guides that we have available on another page as well, but it's here. And then we have some links to some areas on Illinois WorkNet. For example, the trade program forms and trade program guidance. So if you ever need to find the trade program forms or the most current version, you can always get to them from this page. You can click on it and it takes you right back, right to this page that has all of the downloadable forms for trade right here. It also has the date that the form was updated, so you can always see if you have the most current version. Let me click on that again. And then below the Illinois WorkNet links, we have state and federal links. So we have some links about NEG, Rapid Response Services, and WARN informational links and TAA. So most of these link to some external websites like the DOL website. It looks like the majority. And then the first one is the Department of Commerce Rapid Response Regional Map PDF. So if you ever need to know your Department of Commerce contact in your area, you can get that from this map as well. So this page is also kept updated. If this map is ever updated, we get that from the Department of Commerce, so that's the most current version as well. And these links to Illinois WorkNet are also updated. I'll go back to the landing page. And then the archived webinars right here, these are the same ones that were on the archived training materials page, just right here on the front page, so you don't have to click through if you just want to watch them. And then in the middle, I'll go to the first one, just under Getting Started. This is an informational page for all of you that use these layoff recovery tools. If you're unfamiliar or if this is your first time coming to the site, because you know this might be you first time getting started with the rapid response tools, we have the step-by-step, I guess just the steps on how to use the tools. First the company's added to IWDS, then you create the company-specific layoff page and dislocated worker survey. Then you add customized information. So it literally goes step by step on what you would do once a layoff has started. And then there's also some materials here, and you'll see that these were on the last page we were looking at as well, the instructional guides. So we have them in multiple places, but if they're updated, they get updated in all the places they're at, so you don't have to worry about getting an outdated version from somewhere. We also have the link to IWDS. So if you have access to log into IWDS, we link to it from here as well, since the process starts there. And we also have our access list, because as all of you most likely know, you do have to be added to an access list to use these tools. And so if you need to know who to contact in your local area if you don't have access, you can always get that information from this list, which is, again, updated quite frequently. You can see it was last updated on July 3rd of 2017. And so, again, this is just an informational page for all of you in case you ever need that information, or if you ever need to give it to a coworker who's just getting started on the site. So the next three links are the actual tools: the business layoffs and closings, the partner dashboard, and the reporting dashboard. So in the PowerPoint that I provided that you can download in the Files pod, I have a slide over each one of these as well. And I have them open in all my tabs as well, so we can go directly to them. So the business layoffs and closings right here, this is where you first get started. That's why it is the first link here. So this is where all of the layoffs come in from the DETS system. And DETS is the Dislocated Event Tracking System, which is in IWDS, which is the Illinois Workforce Development System. So a layoff is added, or a company is added to DETS, and our system syncs with their system to pull it in. So you can see we currently have 919 companies with layoffs in our system that came over from DETS. And these aren't, and we're pulling in all of the old ones too, so they're not just new ones. So we have all of the archived ones as well. And it goes in alpha order. And so a lot of times it's easier to search by company name. And so this is where you go to get the process started for creating a company page on Illinois WorkNet. So if you need to create a page for laid off workers to go to access information on Illinois WorkNet, this is where you go to get started. You can filter all of these columns. You can search by start and end date of the layoff, by company name, by city, by LWIA. You can do by total affected, largest to smallest. The NAICS code is not filterable, and neither is the survey/layoff page, because that's an action column. So if you're looking for a specific company, you can search by the company name, or you can go to your specific LWIA. I'm a statewide access because I'm with Illinois WorkNet team. So if you were with LWIA 7, you wanted to see the layoffs only in your LWIA, you could filter down. And then even further, so for example, Kmart in LWIA 7, you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in Kmarts, and you can see they have different layoff dates. And the reason that these ones are orange, it shows that there are over 25 workers have been affected. And so that's why some will be orange and some aren't orange. And if you delete what you searched, it'll start bringing back the results. And if you need to know the information for the company, all of the companies are clickable. So if you want to see the information that was entered into DETS, if you click on the company name, it will open up that information, and you get all of that was entered into DETS. So the DETS number, the notification date, whether it was 50 or above, the business name, contact name, etc. So what you'll do from here is create the survey/layoff page. And so this, again, is that page that the laid off worker is going to see on Illinois WorkNet. Now, I didn't show you that, but I can definitely do that, which would probably be helpful for all of you. I'm going to click on the Illinois WorkNet logo here in the header, which will take me back to the Illinois WorkNet website. If you go to the menu and you click on Layoff Assistance and you click on Company Layoff Search, it'll take you to the landing page where all of the current company layoff pages are. And so these are all the active company layoff pages in the system right now. You can see we again have the ability to search by layoff name or city, the user does. And if you start typing, it narrows your options down. And if you click on one, it takes you directly to that layoff page. So this is what you're creating in that on that dashboard when you click Create. You're creating one of these pages for your laid off workers. This is how they're going to access that online dislocated worker survey that they can complete online. They'll also get access to all of these flyers, HIPAA, the unemployment insurance, COBRA, etc. They'll also have access to the video guide, service locations, and the event calendar. So to do that, I'm not going to click the button because this is all live information, but you would click the Create button under Survey. So you can see some of them say Create and some of them say View. The ones that say Create are ones that have not had a page created for them yet, and the ones that say View are ones that have had pages created for them already in the past. And Dawn asked, who enters a new layoff company into Illinois WorkNet? Dawn, are you asking about this page here, who clicks the Create button to create the page for the laid off worker? If so, if it is, I believe, 25 or more workers, that is done by the Department of Commerce, their rapid response staff. And if it's 25 or less, so 25 or fewer, it should be handled by the local workforce area staff that are identified. So if you want to create a page, for example, maybe the Addison group, not a good example because it's a 2012 layoff, but just as an example, if you wanted to create a layoff page for this group, you would click the Create button. And a little pop-up will show up on your page saying, letting you know that it's happening. And then it's going to direct you to the partner dashboard. So this is the next step in creating that page for your laid-off worker. The partner dashboard is where you manage all the pages that have been created. So all of those pages that showed on the last screen that said View, View, View are all going to be here on the partner dashboard. You can see there are 362 entries. That means there have been 362 pages created thus far in this system. Now, obviously, they're not all showing to the public because some of them have expired already because it's been alive since the end of 2014, and pages are live for 6 months, and so they expire. And you can see that. The status, expired, created, activated. So we've had over 300 pages created thus far in the system. So once you click Create, you will be directed to the partner dashboard, and then you will come here to customize your page and activate it. And what I mean by customize is you can add messages for your laid off workers. You can add questions to your laid-off worker survey. You can add up to 4 questions. So if you need to add any specific questions for that specific company, you can do so. You can also add documents to that layoff worker packet. And this is also where you will add any paper surveys that you get for a layoff. So if I go back to this company page and go back to layoff info, the message board, this is where those customizable messages will show up. So maybe you're having a workshop or a webinar, or there's just information that you want laid off workers for this specific company to see. You can add that to the message board. You can add documents to show up in the layoff packet, And you can add specific questions to show up in the survey for this one company, all using these links here. So I will go down, I'm going to scroll down here to AGI Shorewood Group. And the reason I'm focusing on this specific layoff is you can see the status right now is activated. Activated means that the page is now showing to the public. So if I go back to the layoff page, the search page, let me open my menu back up, and I scroll down, you can see it is right here, AGI Shorewood Group. So that's what the status of activated means. That means it is currently active and everyone in the public can see this page. You can see it is set to automatically expire on July 17th, 2017. If you need to have it expire earlier, you can come in here and click this button, Expire Page, and I could make it expire right now if I needed to. And I could go ahead and customize it. Maybe I'm going to have a workshop tomorrow and I want to add that to the message board. I could do that. Now the status of expired is very self-explanatory. That means the page has expired. This one expired on March 29th, 2017. Now you can also reactivate expired pages. So maybe your page expired yesterday and you need it back on the site because your layoff is not yet over, or you need the workers to still see the page. You can come in here and click Reactivate, and it's going to make your page live for another 6 months. And there's one last status, and that is created. Created means that someone clicked create for this company, but they have not yet activated the page. So the laid off workers cannot see this page on the public side of Illinois WorkNet. So they're not able to see Able Career Institute at National Able Network on Illinois WorkNet. So to do so, we would have to click Activate Page. So you have to activate your page before a laid off worker can see it. So if you click Create here, you need to make sure you're clicking Activate here. Otherwise, the laid off workers are not seeing it and they're not being able to complete that survey online on their own. So I just want to make sure everyone is aware of that. If you click Create, you have to come to your partner dashboard and make sure you click Activate. So it's a two-step process right now. Click Create and then click Activate. And that will get your page out here for your laid off worker to see and be able to go to and complete that survey online and access the documents in the message board. So if you need to add or edit a message, you would, to customize your page, you would click the button that says Add Edit Messages. And you can see it says there are no items to show in the view of the message board list because no customized messages have yet been added for this layoff. And so I want to add one, so I'm going to click New Item. And maybe we're going to have a workshop, so we're going to say Upcoming Workshop. And then you want to keep it very brief but helpful. So maybe we're going to say Upcoming, if I could spell, workshop for affected workers. And then maybe you could put the date, time, location, and then maybe contact information. So whatever information you have for the workers, you would just put it in here. And then if you ever need to link to a website, you can do all of that here. You can see up here at the top, you have tools just like you would in Microsoft Word. So maybe you want to make sure the date is bold so they see it. You can bold that information. Or you want to underline something, you have that ability as well. So it's just like editing something in a Word document or your email or anything that you do. You have that ability here. Or maybe you want to link to something, you would just highlight it and click Inserts and then click Link and click From Address, and you'd be able to copy and paste that in here. Now, I don't want everyone to think you have to remember everything I'm saying because this is in the instructional guide that's available for download, but I know sometimes it's easier to see it than just follow some of the instructions, so I wanted to make sure you saw it as well. So maybe you wanted to send them to Illinois WorkNet just as an example, because that's an easy link for me to remember to type in. So you can add that link. I'm just going to have it open in a new tab. And now there's a link there as well. So if I click Save, this would automatically show up on that company layoff page that we were just on under the message board, and it would show up at the top because that's the newest one that we just added. And then you'd be able to come in and edit it at any time as well. So maybe you added a message, but there was a typo or your date changed of your workshop or your location changed. You'd be able to come in here and edit your message as well. So you don't have to think that you would have to add it again or you don't want to add something because it might change. You do have the ability to edit anything you add as well. The next option is adding questions. So you have the ability to add specific questions to your survey for each company layoff. So maybe for Affordable Care Act navigators and assisters, they wanted a specific question asked on their survey. So you click New Item, and you're able to ask up to 4 additional questions for that survey. You put in all of the required information, and you can see that's done by the red asterisk. And you can identify if you want that to be a required question or not. And then you would click Save. And you can see each one of these has a little description of what it is, what that means. So what does required mean? What does display mean? What does question type mean? So you have the ability to do a text box, a drop down, a check box, a radio button, or a date field. So you have the ability to add up to 4 questions to each company layoff survey that is on here. Now I do want to note that if you do add any questions to your survey, you will want to come to batch entry to print from your browser rather than printing that PDF because the PDF won't have any specific questions that you added. And the next one is to add documents. You can, we used to have the ability to add a layoff icon that showed with the, on the layoff search page, but it was requested by one of our contacts at the Department of Commerce that it be taken off because there were so many companies that didn't have an icon on here. So as of right now, we're not showing the company layoff icon. We still have the ability here. You can see there is still a folder. So if there's any on here, if we ever re-enable that, they will show up again. But we were requested to take that down. So if you were on there, you probably noticed that the company icons are not showing anymore. That's why, if anyone was curious on that. But if you wanted to add layoff documents, you can see I clicked on Add Docs/icon. And you click on Layoff Documents because that's what you want to add. And you have a couple of ways to do it. You can click New Document, and you will navigate to your file. You can choose anything you want to upload. You would just select it, and then you would click OK. Or you can drag and drop. So if you have your folder open, let me make this a little smaller. You have the ability to drag it over. You can see that I drag it over to this little area, and you can see it's now highlighted. So you do have the ability to drag and drop or click New Document. So you have either option when you want to upload a document. And then once you do that, it will show up in the layoff document area at the bottom of this page, the layoff packet. And there are statewide flyers already in here that are typical with all of the pages already. And then the last option with each one of these pages is the batch entry. Now this is how you would, one, you can print this for the survey. So if you add a specific question or up to 4 questions again, you could come here and use your browser's print function to print your survey for your layoff workshop. Or this is how you would input any paper surveys that you get. So maybe you had a workshop and you got a stack of paper workshops, you would come here and enter each one of those surveys via this link. So you would click submit and then the page would reload and you would add another one, which we know is not the fastest way of entry, but that's the only way we have for entering paper surveys as of right now. And just like the other pages, you have the ability to search by company name. I just like Kmart because I know we have some of those in the system, so I tend to search that one. You can see we have quite a few of those in here. And I do know that this one is LWIA specific, so if you log in and you work in LWIA 4 or LWIA 15, you're only going to see the companies that are in your LWIA. You can also search by start and end date. And then again, you have that action column that allows you to activate or reactivate or expire a page. And then your additional actions, which is how you customize your pages for your workers. So that's the purpose of the partner dashboard. So you start on the layoffs and closings to create your page, and then you come to the partner dashboard, which is where you are reloaded to activate your page. And then the third link, which is at the bottom, is the reporting dashboard. You can see all of those links are also across the top here. So the reporting dashboard is where you're going to go to see all of the surveys that have been completed. Now, I believe with this one as well, it is statewide. So if you log in and you're in LWIA 7, you're still going to see statewide surveys. So if you want, you can filter your results to only show your LWIA, or you can keep it statewide. It's completely up to you. If you're looking for a specific company, you can search by company name. You can see as you start typing, it narrows down your results. And you can search by a DETS ID number. So if you have that information, you can also search by that. And as you start typing, it's going to start narrowing your results as well. So once you see the survey you want to pull, maybe you're looking, there's one I wanted to pull specifically because it doesn't show any personal information. So for this one, Dominic's in LWIA 1, they had 4 surveys completed. So if this is the one you're looking for, you're going to click Generate Report. And so you can click as many of these check marks as you want. If you wanted, you can click Select All. And if you unclick it, it'll unselect everything as well. And once you have everything selected that you want, you click Generate Reports. And you can see it's going to show your little spinner letting you know that it's working on it. And once it's done, it's going to default to showing you the chart view of your survey results. So it shows every question in a chart or graph form. And you have the ability to download each one of these charts as well, individually, as well as the whole thing in a PDF. So if you want to export all the charts as well, you can do that with this button at the top. You can see it just downloaded to a PDF, and I just clicked to open it. So it's all in here as well. Or if you're only interested in one, again, you can download that to PNG, JPEG, PDF, or a vector image. So you have that ability with each one. So you can see the results for each one, for the total of the surveys that were responded to. And then your other view up here at the top, you have the details view. So this is the detail view of all of the survey responses, which is a little long and lengthy. And you have the ability to export this as well to a CSV, which you can open that and, change the data or manipulate it, and then save it as an Excel if you need to. So you have that ability as well. And then the last tab up here at the top is the follow-up tab. So this one is the one that is when someone who completes a survey says, yes, I want someone to contact me and help me recover from my layoff, help me get benefits or find a job or anything like that. And you can see it says showing 0 of 0 entries, and that's because LWIA 1 has already followed up with these users and has archived them. And I don't want to click on the Archive tab because it will show the personal information for these laid off workers, and I don't want to display that information in the webinar since we are going to be posting this recording. But what it shows, you can see at the top, is it shows the name of the person who completed this survey, and then it'll either show their phone and or their email, whichever they provided in their survey response. But if they said they wanted to be contacted, they do have to provide one or the other. So they'll either be required to provide a phone and or email address for you to reach out to them. It'll also provide the company that they completed the survey for, as well as the link to the survey that they completed so you can see their answers, which will help you when you reach out to them. So it says the DETS ID number. What that means is the DETS ID number will be here as a clickable link for you to click on and look at their survey results. And then the archive will have an archive button for you to click on and move them to the archive tab to say, we have followed up with this person and no one else now needs to because we have already done so. And you also have the ability to export this page into a CSV as well. So maybe you have, anywhere from 1 to as many people completed this survey and they said they wanted followed up. You can export that into a CSV, and maybe you want to send it over to someone and say, see attached and please start contacting these people. Anything you want to do, you can export that information into a CSV, as well as exporting the archive list as well. You have that same option over there. The instructional guide also has the screenshot with the archive button and the DETS ID link, as well as the file download in the PowerPoint that I provided in the bottom left. I just didn't want to show anyone's personal information in the recording we're doing today. So that was one of the important pieces I wanted to show today, to make sure that everyone was aware of this follow-up area and to ensure that everyone is following up with these workers that are indicating they want someone to reach out to them. So once you've come to here and done your report, if you want to do another one, there's a green button up here at the top that says New Report. All you do is click New Report, and it takes you right back to that listing of all the layoffs and all of the surveys, and you'll just start right back where you were, where you click the check mark and you click Generate Report. And you can see right off the bat it tells you how many surveys were completed, so you don't have to run a report to see that no surveys were completed for a company, so you don't have to spend time doing something when you're not going to have any survey results. And the monthly report, if this is something you're interested in, this is the report that I actually send out to all of you every month. This is where I come to pull it. So if you're ever curious and want to see it before I send it out, you're more than welcome to click on it. It's completely up to all of you to come here. It's probably going to take a minute or two to load because it's a pretty extensive report. But this is where I come to pull out the monthly one that I then format into the Excel sheets that I send out to all of you every month and post on the updates area. It takes a minute or two to load because it's pulling in everything from the layoffs and closings and partner dashboard and reporting and showing it here. And you can see there's an export option as well. So those are all of the layoff tools. Does anyone have any questions or comments that they have after seeing everything? And if you're on the phone, feel free to ask your question over the phone as well. I see someone is typing, so I'll let them type. And I do want to let everyone know that we are in the early, and I say very early, planning phases of an update to the Layoff Recovery Tools and debt system. So we just wanted to give you all a heads up. We don't have a current time frame. As I said, it's still in the early planning phase, so it's still planning. No work is currently being done. But we just wanted to make sure that everyone was aware that the planning for an update is in the process, and we will make sure to keep everyone aware of everything as we move forward. And I'm sure that webinars will take place as we move forward to keep everyone in the loop and to get feedback as we move forward to make sure it's user-friendly and intuitive and to make sure we're covering all the bases in that area as well. If there are no other questions, that's all I had to cover today. I just wanted to give everyone a refresher. So thank you very much for joining us. I will post this on the Illinois WorkNet website and send out a link to everyone. And thank you for joining.